Hello and good evening and good morning and good afternoon, Messiah Texas family, wherever you are. My name is Jadin Baker, for those of you who do not know me, and I've been chosen as the latest subject for Testimony Tuesday. So I'm so excited to be able to share that, as it's been such an amazing blessing to be able to see so many good friends of mine shared theirs as well. So I hope that I can be a little drop in the bucket and able to be just maybe a little bit of a blessing, or at least an encouragement for you to hear in your day. So my first Messiah Texas retreat was in 2022, and what better time to go to a Messiah Texas retreat when you have just gone through some big stuff, when you've just walked out of some really repetitive, just deep sin that had been going on for years. I was saved at a very young age and raised in an amazing, just father-centered family. And yet when I was about 13, I fell into some deep repetitive sin for quite a few years. I would say probably about I was 12. And so I fell into some deep repetitive sin, repetitive meaning I had walked away from it many times only to fall back into it many times. And so through all of that, it was probably more than a couple years. I was about 17, freshly 17. My birthday had just happened, and Father was just really able to use my family to pull me out of that. And for me to really realize that I wanted a personal relationship with Yeshua, with Jesus, to be able to know what that was like, because I had grown up in it. I'd seen so many other people, be able to have their own breakthroughs. And yet I still hadn't really forged my own personal relationship with him. I believed, and I knew he was real, and I knew he was amazing and changed so many close people to me, but I just didn't have that for myself. And Father was able to use the 2022 Messiah Texas retreat to be able to heal me, to be able to meet me where I was, and for me to really be able to create and come into just a personal relationship with Jesus, with Yeshua, and to be able to find fulfillment in that. And to be able to find fullness and just reconciliation in my relationship with him, and to know what I believed, and to know what I was living for, that I wasn't living for the world, that I wasn't living for myself, but I was living for him. And so he was able to use that Messiah Texas retreat to be able to heal me and pull me through so much. And I was able to come home and even be a witness of that to my family, and for them to be able to see me just changed and happy than I was before, when I was just broken because I had failed so many times and done the opposite of what I knew was right so many times, and didn't think I could ever be fully forgiven, and just didn't forgive myself. But Father was able to meet me where I was, and I was able to find that forgiveness for myself. And even that week, I was able to share my testimony and just the little pieces it was, to help so many others as well. And so every group I've had since then, as I've been to 3 summer camps now, have just been amazing. And he's been able to use my testimony in many different ways for many different people. And that's just been the most beautiful thing of all, to be able to be used in such a way, and for such a what would seem shameful thing to be able to be a beautiful thing for someone else, to be able to make them realize that Father forgives them and loves them and just wants them. So it has been amazing. Not to say that since then I didn't have my times when I fell and fell into unforgiveness for myself again, but every time he has met me where I was, and I knocked myself out of it and knew that he wanted me. And so since then I've just grown so much. I've been able to be a camper at 2 youth camps, and now an apprentice / counselor in training at 1, and I would serve at every single one if I could. I love the ministry. I love all of it. Father just uses so many there, and touches so many lives, and it's always just such a beautiful thing to see. Truly one of the most beautiful things to see a new brother or sister come into the kingdom and accept him in, and just see the growth and the healing and just the love that gets poured out. It's just, there's nothing that compares. So I'm forever grateful for Messiah, Texas, even just being able to be a tool used, that Father uses to be able to touch so many others. Truly, it's changed so many lives, and it's spread about the country and any way that it really has. And they've now started the Texas Tabernacles, which has been such an amazing thing personally for my family, and just some breakthroughs and just growing time and really knowing what our calling is. And it has just been a life-changing experience, and I thank Father every day for the people he's brought into my life and for Messiah, Texas, because had he not brought that into our lives, we wouldn't be where we are right now. He might have found another way, but he chose this, and I'm forever grateful for it. And I can't wait for the day when maybe I can leave Indiana and maybe get closer to Texas. It would truly be such an amazing thing, but all in his timing. So again, so thankful for Messiah, Texas to be able to be used in that way. But an even better thing that still amazing things have happened outside of camp, and it's not something that's confined to camp. It's something that can spread, because your joy and your love that you can show from Yeshua, from Jesus to others, can be so contagious and speak volumes of you as a person than somebody that's even just evangelizing on the side of the street. So all of that to say, so beyond grateful for it. I would not be the person that I am today if it weren't for him. And so thank you so much for even getting this far and listening. I am just praying blessings over anyone that watches this, that Father would meet you where you are, that even if you feel like you're stuck in a repetitive process of sin, that why on earth would he forgive you because you've known what was right and yet you still keep failing? There is a way out of it. Speaking of someone who has been in addictions before, it seems impossible, but it's not, because I can say with confidence that I no longer have the fear of failing. I no longer have the fear of just shame or doubt or any of that. That's completely gone. He's wiped the slate clean. And yes, you may stumble, but you can always get back and always get further than where you were before if you just keep seeking after him and keep running after him and keep your eyes on him, because that's the way that we don't look down and stumble and fall on our faces. So anyways, I hope that this was able to speak anything into your life. And thank you so much for listening, and I'm so looking forward to the next Messiah, Texas camp I can go to, and just be able to be used as a tool in his kingdom, but to also know that I can have just a rejuvenating time surrounded by people who are genuinely seeking out Father as well, because it's such a breath of fresh air compared to the world that we live in now. So thank you for everyone who has listened. I love you all. I'm sending hugs from Indiana, and can't wait to meet you at some point. If you're deciding to maybe go to Messiah, Texas, do it. I promise you won't regret it, and come with a contrite heart and an open and willing just heart and mind for what Father may have in store for you, because let me tell you what, his plans are so much better than ours and what ours could ever be. I know that in my heart of hearts, and I know that this is just the beginning of my testimony and what he is going to walk me in. So thank you so much for listening, and I love you all.